Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's September 10th of 2021. It's about 3:24 p.m. in the afternoon. Just for your information, uh, we had some wasp nests out on our patio. Uh, you may have seen some videos occasionally. Well, like the rainstorm yesterday, I was out there making some video. Anyway, I had some wasp nests out there. Had one, I don't know, a few weeks ago that it built its wasp nest right where our sliding patio door is. And I didn't have any wasp spray, but I sprayed it with disinfectant and then used a broom handle to knock it. Anyway, they came for me, but I was inside the apartment, with the door open just a little bit doing that, and I could close the door. They rebuilt the nest and in a different location on the patio. So I turned in a work order for the plant operations people here at the apartment complex, and one of the they have two people that work here, and right now both of them are very nice, and one's a new guy, but he worked for the company, same company that owns the apartments in another city for 8 years, and so he transferred here. And so he came. So anyway, he checked he took care of the wasp thing, all of it, and there was some that I had already destroyed and that were kind of hanging up there, and he knocked those down too. Took care of all that. Um, the other thing is our dishwasher uh, isn't draining water now. It runs, it does the dishes, but there's some water left in the bottom. It's not leaking, but the maintenance guy thinks that that's a sign that it's. He said that's what they do just before when they're old, or just before they die. And so the other maintenance guy is going to come, I think, today. So they go home at 5 or 5:30. It's 3:30 now. So I might have, if my son is taking a nap, I would like to be taking a nap too. Uh, and yes, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. So the other the other problem here, maintenance problem, is the kitchen sink has one of those. I could show you, has one of those handles that you move back and forth. One hand, not two things, but you move it back and forth. It keeps. There's just one little tiny screw that holds that thing on there. The thing has come off about 3 times. So the maintenance guy says that entire thing needs to be, replaced. So, uh, now the other thing, let me explain again. My ex-wife and my grown son and myself, we share this apartment. It saves us having to pay for 2 or 3, things. Well, since my grown son was living with the ex-wife next door, it would have been for like 2 places, but now we're sharing a place, and so that helps with the cost a great deal. Instead of paying, you know, 1,200 a month for the apartment, we can divide that up 3 ways. Instead of paying for all the internet, we can divide this up 3 ways. Well, we're not dividing it up totally equally 3 ways. I pay more than my share, but anyway, if you've watched my videos, you know that the ex-wife, she pays for the groceries, uh, and she loves ordering now from Walmart, and they deliver. You can pick up, or they will deliver. Uh, And we don't have a car. I don't have a driver's license. I couldn't, with my arthritis, I can't turn uh, so it works out great. And we're old. Well, my son's not, but my ex-wife and myself are old. We've been divorced, the ex-wife and myself, for about 40 years. Um, but we get along okay. She drives me crazy. But maybe I was crazy to begin with. I don't know. So today, anyway, she loves ordering from Walmart. And she orders a lot. She orders often. She needs a loaf of bread. Of course, she's not going to just order a loaf of bread, but and then she'll be, well, okay, you know. So we're doing okay. You don't need to send a care package of food or anything. Um, so she loves Walmart, and I can't get her. She loves Echo too. I mentioned that the Amazon Echo. I can say it because my device here uses the A word, and the one she has in her area in there, she uses Echo for it, and she leaves notes on there. Instead of doing a shopping list, she'll leave a thing to remind her it's such and such a time, and then she logs in to the Walmart site and adds something to the list, but then she leaves the list there until she's ready then to go and send it. So today she has been having difficulty with the site, Walmart site. And I can see that she would. They're working on it. They're doing some stuff to it, and it's where normally, we just click on Walmart and then click on the grocery thing or whatever, and our list pops up, and you can add to it or whatever you want to do. Now I don't know what's going on with Walmart. I don't see. Um, I don't see that there's having a massive. Well, of course you can see here. Grocery app not working. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait a minute, I'm wrong. Yeah, okay. There are, uh, there are a whole bunch of, for today. Grocery app not working. Saved later plus cart items disappeared. Checkout not available. It won't let me order from shipping only from my local store. Yeah, that's a complaint that the ex-wife. Cart not available. Okay, so it is. So anyway, the ex-wife told me, it's not working. I can't do such. And I said, okay, well, I woke up, from a nap, and that's when I woke up this morning, whenever it was. It's not working. I said, they're working on their code. I'm sure they're working on their code. She says, no, they're trying to fix it where I can't go to the food thing. I have to go to the regular thing because they want me to buy other items that are not. I said, no, they would not do that. Most people are, computer illiterate. At least most of people, And there's old people. Of course, we're old. All kinds of people, and they don't want to make it difficult. They want to make it as easy as possible. They're not deliberately, and she just has been going on all day. And, and she said, I can't log in. Of course, I came, and yeah, I clicked on the Walmart site, and yes, there was Well, let's see what happens when I do it now. Well, I have it. See, I fixed it. But let me remove the grocery thing here. And just click on Walmart. Okay. Okay, well, see, I think it's because my ID number is in there, or whatever. So here is the, the food thing. But, they have problems, and it's got to do with their coding. And it's like I just keep telling her, one, it's not a conspiracy. It's not, they're they want to make it as easy. And I said they probably have thousands of people working on code, and somebody comes with an idea, up with an idea, or the management does. Oh, let's change this here, and the code, whoever does, the people are, you know, oh yeah, we can fix that. We'll just do this, and then they do that, and then the whole thing, you know. I worked a hospital. Had worked hospital security. I worked at this small hospital, and one night, one of our employees got sick, a nurse, and the house supervisor at that time. Now she went home like at 1:30 in the morning, and then the head ER, or the nurse in the emergency room, was, the in charge of the whole hospital. That's the way it worked. They changed, it's been changed now, I'm sure, but there was no way for the head nurse to, nursing supervisor, to find out any information. What if she had to call? And actually, that hospital was so small. They had an office. I don't think they even had an office for personnel. Maybe a desk in there someplace, but there wasn't anybody there Monday through Friday to handle personnel matters. I don't know how they even did that. That's how small the hospital was. That hospital, I was employee of the quarter, not employee of the month, because we didn't have enough employees, and then they had to, and then they started using supervisors could be, employee, which, then they had to start using them over again. Somebody could be employee of the quarter again in this small hospital. So anyway, the nursing supervisor said, Jim, do you have, and I said, no. I said, at, down at the main hospital, I said, I don't know how they're doing it now, but we had a book printout on paper of all employees' addresses, phone numbers, that type of stuff, so we could look them up that way. And I said, I'll check and see if I can come up with, So I contacted the main hospital, and then they set us up on the hospital computer. There was hospital computers there and at other hospitals, because this organization ended up buying about every hospital in Kansas City. They bought at least 11, I think, when I started. So, and we had access to a computer. In fact, the security department at the different hospitals that they took over, the security officers there, we could call up all the incident reports that were done, and information like that. So, because this was, small hospital, because the main hospital, and I worked down there for 5 years before I went to the small hospital. But so my fellow security officers, usually the way a call would be, we had a cascade alert system that was set up. In fact, I was partially involved in that thing when it was developed. Not big time, but so the way it worked is when somebody came up, a hospital would call 2 hospitals. And then those 2 hospitals would call 2 hospitals. And then and before long, this is before before it would be so easy now with, computers and that type of stuff. Well, I mean, we had computers, but you know what I mean. That worked really well. We could get the word out to all the hospitals in the greater Kansas City area in 15 minutes or 30 minutes or something, get the information out. But, so my fellow security officers at the main research hospital, they would call out to Research Belton Hospital. And, I would, there was only 2 of us that worked out there, and we didn't both work at the same time, and we didn't have coverage on the day shift, and, oh, God. But I would answer the phone, and so my fellow officers, when they would call, Jim, I don't know why we have to call you out there. Nothing ever happens out here. Not like down here, and of course I'd worked down there. And everything. And then they would, and just about every time, which you would think the word would get around, Remember, guy calls out, don't know why he would call you, whatever. This guy grabbed some medication or whatever at such and such a hospital, and whatever. And I said, well, if you look in our computer system, you can do a search for his name. I arrested him out here. So that's reports in the computer. And then they called out. Anyway, it seemed like just by the time they would call out, it'd be like, oh, well, I don't know why we have to call you. And I said, well, look in the computer. I arrested that guy out here, So, but anyway, I contacted the main, contacted security, and the director of security contacted, and so data processing, set us up on our computer, well, any of the computers there at the hospital if you logged in, with our security function. The information pop. Anyway, so I get a notice, okay, it's working now. So if you need to look up an employee and find out where so you could call home, say, hey, your mother's sick or your dad's sick, not an employee who got sick or something, you need to come and pick up, whatever it was. So I thought I better check it out. And I log in. Okay, let's see. That looks strange. Click, click. Oh, access to job descriptions for all of the job positions out here. Okay, security. Okay. Starting pay, top pay, average pay of security. Okay, let's see. Housekeeping. Okay. For a housekeeping 1, the starting pay, average pay, top pay. They actually gave more information than that, Let's see, for a housekeeper 2, housekeeper 3, and I could look up, okay, hospital administrator, Oh, okay. So I checked a few more things. So then, at 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever, data processing, even at the main hospital, they probably had 1 person or 2, maybe they had 3 working if they're working on some project. I called out, hey, oh yeah, we sent that out to you, is that working okay for you? I said, well, it's working a little too well for us. I said, I can look up all the positions and see exactly how much everybody's being paid, what's the starting pay, no, you can't. I said, yes, I can. No, you can't do that. I said, are you setting up that terminal? He says, yeah. And I said, okay, type in the following. Okay, click, 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 click. Type in the following. Click, click, click. Okay, now hit enter. Click. And he goes, oh, shit. He says, oh, wow, thanks. What's that name again? I said, Jim, He said, thanks a lot. Okay, we'll fix that right away. I said, okay. I thought you'd want to know, So anyway, I told, Darlene, this is, they're working on something. They're fixing it. I said, it is a mess, but here's the link you can use. And I sent her the the link that I think that I just, which I think works. Now, I haven't gone into it like she's going to go into it when she decides to, like I can see one thing up here, it says there's 4 items in the cart for a total of $11.42. Now, for the last few days, every time she thinks of something that she needs, she adds it. So she said the cart thing was erased also. I've been telling her it's software. And of course she thinks that and of course she was married to me for 12 years. She thinks I'm an idiot. And I keep telling her, it's software. I said, just like the other day, I said, Microsoft, who has probably 100,000 people working on code, their code and everything. I said they released Windows, and there were some major problems with it. I said I made a YouTube video on it, and I said, I get about, after a few days of, my video being online, it'll have like 80 views. After a few days, I said it's got 500 or 600 views in the last 24 hours because people were looking for, information on such and such. I come back later and she's, oh, they haven't fixed it yet. I just checked, with Walmart. What are we going to do? We won't be able. She's not saying we're going to starve, but what are we going to do? We're getting our food. We can order from Amazon and they deliver food, but they're so much more expensive. I said they'll fix it. They will fix it. And then she comes back with the same thing, like she doesn't hear me. I think part of it is she doesn't listen to me. Oh no, they're trying to fix it where, you just can't go to it easily. You have to go, they want you to go to the main thing so they can sell you other items. And then I said, no, they want it simple and easy for everybody, to use. And so then she says something, well, you don't know. And she'll say something like, well, you don't know. And so then this time I said to her, well, before there was a Microsoft, before there was a Walmart, before there was, Amazon, before there was YouTube, I was using computers, and I wrote in code, in the basic coding language, a BPS program for myself. I know a little bit about coding, and then I mentioned, I've worked, hospital security for 30 years. Things came up with the data processing, department, and I said, I know a little bit about this, and I'm telling you, this is a problem they have, and she's still, I pray, when she gets over to her computer, I hope that the link that I send her gets her in there, but I got a feeling even if it does, that's what I wanted to get at. Okay. So I told her, yeah, things look different. They're doing something. They're working on it. And I went through the whole thing again. Somebody comes up, some executive or somebody says, could we change the color of this, and could we put a link here or whatever, and the data processing. No problem. We'll take care of it. And then they go to somebody, oh yeah, I can take care of that. Then sometimes they go home, depending on and then the whole system is, screwed up. Everything is fucked up, because that affected something, that affected something else, that affected something else, that affected something else, and it is a disaster. And this may be a disaster. but I hope they get it, get it fixed. Because she will not stop talking about it and making it into almost like it's a, almost like it's a conspiracy, against me. I'm not me, but her. And so, okay. Now let me get to the thing. Wonder if I can pull it up without showing you my information. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to white out or edit the thing. So today, okay, they're doing this, or there's problems with their system. I get a thing that pops up. Okay, a Walmart card. You should have a. I think it was actually an email. Maybe I could show you that. Let's see. If I didn't delete it, I tried. I get so many emails that. Let's see. Okay, I think I need to see if I can find it here. I probably deleted it. Email. Be under Walmart. Let's see. Let me do it. Search. Walmart. Okay. Okay. I don't see it. And I don't even remember the name of it. Anyway, something popped up for me. Walmart credit card. Oh, you need this or whatever, and it's like, well, I don't have a Walmart credit card, or do I? Or is it just a debit card? I can't remember. Anyway, I have a Walmart card. Yeah, I do. No, I do. I have a credit card with Walmart. And so I'm thinking, well, I already have a Walmart credit card. And then I see it says bank and credit card. Bank and credit card, And then it has, I forget the name of it. I don't see the name there. Like I said, I'm afraid to call up anything because So anyway, it says no credit check. And it gives the name of the thing, Alliance or something. So anyway, I check it out. And it says, no, you won't be checked on your credit. And it's a bank card. It's a bank account. And I'm thinking, well, okay, so I have two items that go into my bank, my Social Security, and then a small retirement thing for my 18 years hospital security. I have them both set up to go into my bank account. I don't want to go and change those and have, So I'm like, are they going to ask me to make a deposit of $500? What are they going to do? What are they going to do with that? So I started filling it out. And it says, you have to have a Walmart account. Enter the Walmart account number, and of course it told you where to find it. And then of course it asked a whole bunch of questions like Social Security number, or did it ask that? Anyway, it asked a whole bunch of information. Then I thought, well, why is it asking all that information if it's not doing a credit check or something like that? But anyway, then I went through the whole thing, and then they started having problems with the thing, that like enter your address or whatever it was, and it wasn't the internet. It was, there, because I think they're still working on the code, or they think they had it fixed, and they didn't. And so, anyway, I forget all the steps that I went through, and then said, okay, your card will be mailed to you, a bank account card. And I'm not sure, anyway, but I think you'd have to have the money to. Anyway, so it's going to be sent to me. And, but then there was a thing, okay, having to do with it, like information on it or something. And it was doing this circling. And I left, I went and got me something to eat. I mean, I didn't leave the house, but got me something, whatever, came back, still doing it. Finally, it popped up. So I think that's what's happening. They've come up with this new thing. Today's the first day because we check into Walmart account every day. She's checking into it to add an item or two to the cart. And so I think that's what their problem is here. Not there. Not there. Here. I think that's where the problem is. So if you're having problems, I think it's got to do with this new card that they have, which is a bank card. Oh, I noticed too, when I then went to Walmart, it shows that I have a credit of 92 cents. So what they've done is they've put 92 cents into the bank account, which I haven't gotten yet. But when I went through this thing, one of the things they had was, okay, your card is going to be shipped to you in 7 to 10 days. By the way, if you need it, here's a temporary card that you can use until that, which I didn't click on that. So I think that is the problem. If you're having problems getting into Walmart, especially if you're having problems getting into the food thing, I think it's got to do with this card that they've created, which you don't have to use, But I think maybe they might be doing something smart and something to get them, because supposedly there are millions and millions of people here in the United States who cannot get a bank card, cannot get a bank account. They can't get a bank account. And if you can't get a bank account, you're put at, I guess, a great disadvantage in a whole bunch of different ways. And the banks, work together, and the banks can ban you. If a bank bans you for some reason, for X number of years, you will not be able to get a bank account. And I've seen, political talk or conversation, economic things or whatever, saying that the United States is the only country in the world, I guess. I mean, other than, let's say Ethiopia. I don't know anything about Ethiopia, But of, I guess, modern industrial places, the United States is the only place, I guess, maybe in the world where it's difficult for somebody to get, a lot of times it's difficult to get a bank account. And if you can't get a bank account, I guess it would impact a whole bunch of different areas. I can't think of what ways it would impact. But, so anyway. So I think the problem is that Walmart is having trouble. And especially the Walmart food thing, I believe, is having problems. So anyway, if you have any additional information, just leave it below.